Hi friends, I want to talk to you today about a watercolor technique to make these flowers. First of all, you might notice the state of our watercolor paint drawer. This drawer is definitely a mess and kind of unexpected. If you're looking for watercolors and are disappointed that a lot of the watercolors have been used up, it's because chances are they've dribbled out because they weren't put back in the drawer well. So help us out. The first thing you're going to want to do when you make a watercolor flower is to get a tiny bit of watercolor paint on your paintbrush. You're going to paint a shape that looks a little bit like a comma, and then without getting much more paint, you are going to dip your paintbrush back into that original little comma shape and use that paint to make sort of U shapes around your flower. The farther you get out, you have some water on your paintbrush. The further you get away from that original little comma shape, the paint is going to have a little bit more water in it, and so it's going to make it look a little looser. Let me show you a couple more. So I'm going to speed this one up a little bit, but you can see I'm making a little comma shape, and then I'm going to rinse my paintbrush, pick up the paint, meaning I put my paintbrush back into that paint, and I'm making some little U shapes around that original comma shape. If I feel like I need more paint, I dip my paintbrush not into the paint in my palette, I dip it into that original little comma shape. Let's look at it one more time with blue. I made a little comma. I dipped my paintbrush in the water and made some U's around it. All right, this time it's a little different. I'm going to start with a little bit of a background color. In this case, it's a little light blue. This time when I put that first little comma shape on, it's going to spread because there's already some water on the paper. But I kind of like how that effect makes it look really kind of loose. I can change the size of my flower by making a bigger comma or a littler comma. And you can see I'm dipping my paintbrush back into that original color. And I kind of like how it looks really watercolory and it sort of blends together. On this one, I want to go in and I'm going to mix some leaves with some blues and yellows and give a little bit of dimension in the background with some leaves. Instead of mixing green on a palette, I'm just mixing it on my paper. But every time I get a new color, I'm definitely rinsing my paintbrush. Yellow and blue makes green. Once I have a little bit of green on my paintbrush, I can use it in different places on that piece of paper. I only need the tiniest bit of paint. I hardly need much paint at all, and I like how it looks sort of loose. I hope you have fun. Good luck experimenting.